Okay, and we're back with episode 4, Curse of Strahd, Tatyana's Revenge. D&D adventure using the Zweihänder D100 of your own Perilous system.
I do feel powered by Zweihänder right now.
Do you? You should feel powered by Zweihänder. Strangers in the strange land. You stand within Madame Eva's caravan, her tent. Her loyal servant Kolyat laying out the map, which you take in hand. The map is made from some sort of skin of an animal. It seems to denote the world around you as you now know it, the world that they simply call Barovia. You have been told to go east to meet a man named Lord Marcus, who may be able to help you out. She told you the story of the Devil Strahd and how he is banished, and in his place Queen Tatyana now sits at the throne of a place simply called Castle Ravenloft. You can see it indicated upon the map clearly, as the village of Barovia as well. But the map is punctuated with other such places, strange and distant. You're not even sure how far away these places are. Nonetheless, she stretches her hand out toward Mortimer. You ask me to read your fortune.
You said you wanted to read them. If you like, you can use these cards.
She nods, smiling. These cards are of Barovia. They're made from the skin of lambs. They are marked in a way that should a person seek their fate in the land of Barovia, I can read from it, and I can tell you the secrets of that which will lay before you.
I must say a word or two before you start reading from said cards. Where we found them specifically may give you pause. Who knows, but...
She raises a hand and simply says, "The Devil Strahd works in strange ways. Although he is gone, parts of him, part of his dread sorcery still linger about this land. Do not tell me where the cards come from, for it will ruin the fortunes which I will tell you."
I know my future, but go for it.
I will ask each of you to touch a single card. One card shall be the first fortune that I tell you. The others must be touched by you before I can tell you what fate lies in store. She places the cards. She reaches out toward you, Nigel.
Mm-hmm.
If you wish for your fortune to be told, you must touch the top of this card, and then can I place it down. She places it upon the table. She extends the cards out to you, her small, trembling, 15-year-old hand.
What is this? Can you explain this slightly more?
Will this impede upon my faith in the steward and what is this?
She smiles. This is not a land of gods. This is a land of the Devil Strahd. You will not be judged by whatever distant deity or god you worship. Here you will be judged by your actions.
So we're in hell.
She seems taken aback by the comment. Not precisely.
Well, as they say, when in
Barovia?
I was going to say Gothmorn or Quehebro.
She extends the cards out toward you.
Well, that one's mine.
Does it have to be the one on the top?
It must always be the card on the top.
Very
Simply
well.
you touch it. And you, soothsayer, she says, you must touch the top of the cards. Mortimer's all in.
The Night Father would be proud. Taking our chances.
I will reveal
There's no
to you.
chance. My future is set, just as yours.
I will reveal to you a secret about this land. A secret that is relevant to the Devil's Strahd. A secret that is irrelevant to you. Within these cards lay the answers you seek. I cannot tell you whether they'll lead you beyond the realms of Barovia back to where you are from. I cannot tell if they will take you to your doom. But you can rest assured that what is revealed in these cards will give you a guidepost as you find your way through Barovia. The first fortune is this. This card, she points toward it. This card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. Ah! She holds up the card. The Philanthropist. I must find it now in the book. Oh, yes. This card, as I said, tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. This card tells me that you must look to a place where sickness and madness are bred, where children once cried, the treasure lies still. So for those who may have missed it, she says, look to a place where sickness and madness are bred, where children once cried, the treasure lies still.
Seems pretty clear to me.
I only think of one place.
The manor home. We must return.
This next card, as she looks toward you, Nigel, this card tells of a powerful force for protection and good, a symbol of great hope. She turns the card over and she locks eyes with Nigel. Ah, you have drawn the marionette, she says aloud. Oh, that's interesting. Look for a man of music, a man with two heads. He lives in a place of great hunger and sorrow. That is the fate which I have told for you. So Nigel, she drew the marionette. Write this in your story. In the back. Or the front, whatever you want to.
There it is.
Yeah. She has told your fortune, which is to look for a man of music, a man with two heads. He lives in a place of great hunger and sorrow. And this was in reference to, you know when you're ready,
Okay.
a powerful force for good and protection. A holy symbol of great hope. To you, Alfie. You asked before of that which had banished the Devil's Strahd. Know that this card is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword made of light. She turns the card over. Ah, she says. This card is the healer. Look to the west. Find a pool that has been blessed by the light of the white sun. Her eyes turn toward Benedict. This card sheds light on one who will help you greatly against the battle against darkness. She turns the card over. Ah, she says, your card is the tax collector.
I've never seen them as very helpful.
The cards are not meant to be read literally. The card, depending on the face of which it is toward me, reveals what is true and what is not. In this case, the Vistani have what you seek. A missing child holds the key to the treasure's release.
But you're the Vistani.
She nods.
Are you missing a child?
And to you, Mortimer, he whose name I have heard in my dreams, it is to you that I reveal this card represents your enemy is a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. She turns the card over. Ah, she says, this card is the Executioner. She gives a long, slow smile. As I am literally looking through the book trying to find the damn card.
She's at a loss for words.
Yes. Seek out the devil of the brother. Seek out the brother of the devil's bride. They call him the Lesser, but he has a powerful soul.
The brother of the bride?
Seek out the brother of the devil's bride. They call him the Lesser, but he has a powerful soul.
And what of Dr. Wolf? Will you to give her fortune as well?
I have revealed your fortunes. She takes the cards and places them gingerly, stacking them once again, and hands the cards back to you. Mortimer, that is.
I should put that in my notes. I just ran out of places on things.
I have read your fortunes. I have told you of this land. You may sleep among my caravan tonight, but tomorrow you must be gone at the sun's light. You are on your own from here.
But one of the fortunes points to you.
She.
May we help you now with?
What fortune was revealed to you?
Not mine. That would be.
It was mine. It had to do with a missing child of the Vistani.
The tax collector. The Vistani have what you need. A missing child.
She curls her lips. A missing child. You'd have to ask Kolyat about that.
Very well. We will. I, for one, appreciate you spending the time to read us our fortunes. Tell us more about this land of Barovia that we are in. Also to tell us that we are to go to Barovia.
This is just a strange thing.
Madam Maeva, I agree with my fine caller here.
As the two of them pass a
look of hate.
Begrudging look.
We appreciate all your assistance and you're welcome to your world.
She nods. We will meet again. I'm certain of it, she says.
Well, yes, we must find this missing child for you. It would only make sense.
No, we need to see. His name is slipping my mind already. I must be getting older in age.
Marcus.
No.
No.
Curse. Starts with a C. He's standing in the tent with us.
Cassius Clay.
Goliath.
Coolio.
Coolio.
Goliath.
Coolio.
Coolio. Cool.
Gulags.
It's not Gulag. His name is Kulag. Kulag.
Right, well, I for one would like to speak with Goliath sometime soon. Do we have other business that we should be tending to now?
Maybe buy, trade, barter.
There's nothing to find in these camps but a bed, moss, and wine and food.
That's what I mean for food. Maybe barter. We do not know how far Barovia is. How many days is it? And
Half a day,
half a
perhaps.
day.
Speak to Goliath.
Goliath. We must speak with Goliath. We've taken too much of your time, madam. We appreciate everything.
She smiles,
Oh.
small and thin
Oh.
as she is.
Bow.
Do not bow. There are no lords here, save for Devil Strahd.
My courtesy was for your
Hospitality.
hospitality.
She says. Just so.
Well, I shall remember not to bow.
And I believe the queen might question that. She believes she's a queen. So I will exit stage right.
You step outside her large kind of orange and red tent back among the Stani, as you know them now. These travelers among Barovia. People who seem very much a part of the land, much more than yourselves by any means. But if anyone has been able to help ground you in what's happening, it's certainly them. They're clearly accustomed to outsiders, or outsiders have passed among their midst before. Perhaps that is why they've been so friendly.
For other reasons.
Exactly.
You stand near the fire as it wards away the mosquitoes from the swamp. The skies are strange, the people are strange, but they're very friendly and affable and welcoming into their encampment.
Can we circle up within our own group?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, the five of you, including Dr. Wolf, come together, but she is quiet on the matter.
So I don't know this card faith, whatever that was. It seems there are some helpful things here. I mean, should you now? Is it your task to find the child?
You do realize we're talking about a 15-year-old here.
It is.
What else do we do here?
This is all we have.
If they're going to give us something and we have nothing, let's find this child. I say no harm, no foul here.
Well, yes, I agree with you on some regard. We go to the village, we replenish, and we return with food, supplies.
What are you going to? I have gold and silver from our lands.
Gold and silver spends the same everywhere. You know that.
You believe so?
I know so. I make it my business.
What about the house? It sounds like. Am I crazy that the first one sounds like we should go in the house?
It does.
I think
What was
we
that one
should
again?
return to the house. Yes.
Look to the place where sickness and madness are present. Children cry. And hold on, I can't read my own writing because that's just a little something. I don't know.
Yes, we return to the house to loot it, take everything we can, and sell it.
You mean the shambles that we turned around and saw? It's not far away. You could go do that now.
Sickness and madness.
I would caution against trying to take everything. I think that we should take a more balanced approach. If there is stock...
Did anybody else write it down?
I wrote down what was said to me for my fortune.
Well, that was the main fortune, was the first one. That was for everyone.
Well, that is a shortcoming on my part. But it was something about where those that once cried, the treasure still lays there, or a missed opportunity.
The treasure still lies. The treasure still lies. That's what mine says.
Yes. So...
I missed the best part, is what it's saying.
I am of the matter to think that we have a few differing fortunes, as she says. And if there is stock to be put in the fortunes, which I have heard conflicting arguments, but I'll believe in anything at this point. I'll believe in anything at this point.
If this little creature is, is telling us the truth, there's a glooming, and it's Galleon.
I agree.
How do you not know this?
It's got to be Galleon. It's
the glooming.
It's the easiest explanation. It must be true.
The glooming surrounds Galleon. It's ever present. You can't go through. You can go into Galleon, but you cannot come back out.
I'm afraid. All I know of Galleon is children's stories.
In all my life, only once have I seen people return.
Well, you grew up next to it.
That's what the teeth are.
Yes, whereas I did not. So I should defer to you. Yes.
But if it's my father told me it is a place of strange gods and magics and devils and Hamasti.
Come now.
That's from my father's mouth.
So we lost our way on
the great paladin of all land.
Ah, yes,
It's not something he does not lie. The man truly faced me with these words. So
we lost our way in the way to the teeth, and we came upon Galleon. I don't see how that's so hard to understand.
So, I would agree, except I point up to this guy. That is different. In all my life, in as many hours and many days, weeks, months, years as I've started at those stars, as I have written and charted them, these are not the same.
Have you
And you have a skill rank in navigation. You look up Sir Alfie and you realize, it kind of instantly begins to come into focus for you. The others know nothing of this. They're just kind of like, what? Stars? Which way? Huh?
Stars come and go as the wind.
But in your case, Sir Alfie, you have lived your life beneath the stars, and you know that the passage of time is charted through these 12 layers of the zodiac, and the stars which are above you make no sense at all.
No. Stars do not come and go. Stars are ever present.
We just had a big snowstorm. Surely they moved across the sky.
Stars do not move.
If it were winter, then I would explain that this constellation would be there.
They rotate
summer,
with the seasons, but we rotate.
But have you ever seen them from Galleon? I mean, maybe they're different in Galleon, no?
Not so different that I would not recognize a single one.
Yes. Yes.
As I said, I have charts. It's been part of my life's work.
So what do your Galleon charts say? The stars moved?
It says that we are not anywhere near Aglador.
Well,
maybe this is Galleon. The people are supposed to speak the common tongue. It would make sense that they would not know of the Gothic. There's no trade. The only city that they have that's even on the Bay of Mandos is it's in shambles and ruins, I've heard.
Nigel, what card did we draw for you? The marionette.
So yes. So but my father told me, everything in Galleon is about
Tax
quest.
collector, right?
Yes. So, if I may, gentlemen, we
What
could
was your name?
Nigel?
No.
Oh, the marionette.
discuss the possibilities all night.
What was yours, Sir Alfie?
The healer.
Healer.
We could discuss the possibilities all night. However, I for one think that we should put these fortunes to the test.
See if they're right or not.
See if they are, yes.
What was your card? My apologies. What was your card, Mortimer?
The executioner.
Executioner, that's right.
Wow, guys, you really need to write your own shit down.
Everybody, okay, so hand out these cards, if you would. Mortimer hands out the cards. Mortimer,
After I shuffle
grab the
them back in.
marionette.
Yeah. So we had
Come
a
on,
healer,
guys,
right?
write
The
your
healer,
shit
executioner,
down.
tax collector, and
I
executioner.
know you did.
Who had the philanthropist? You had the philanthropist, right?
No, the philanthropist. That was our main.
Everyone's. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
everyone's.
So where do we put that?
Tax collector?
Here.
We'll give the philanthropist to Mortimer,
Madam.
since he's the holder of the cards.
Oh,
Mortimer
I thought
or
Madam
Madam
Krista.
Mortimer.
More time.
She's not here, therefore she can't participate.
I don't think anyone had the healer, right?
I had the healer.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So Nigel had the marionette.
I'm glad you're in control of the card.
Yes.
Alfie has the healer. Mortimer has the philanthropist and the executioner.
Yep.
And Benedict has the tax collector.
That's, yes.
Attack.
Again, we could hem and haw all night, but I think we should put these to the test because
That's what I was saying.
fortunes are.
And we never agree on anything.
Well, we obviously are in different lands, then, are we not? We are suddenly in an accord.
It doesn't help that robbing the graves of the people you're supposed to be helping isn't very noble, but let's go on past that. We are in a different land.
We
Those
are.
may not be rules in this land.
I believe the woman in the tent. I believe we have been trapped by a devil. How we escape this snare is yet to be seen, but
So, as I was saying, I believe that we should put these to the test, and we keep an open yet scrutinizing mind to it all. And in order to do so, we should think about what is the easiest to attain versus what is the hardest to attain, and then go from them in that order. Why, surely we have one thing that we can do right here, right now, and that is to speak with Koliat.
Yes, Colgate.
And then the next easiest one, I think, if I've been paying attention correctly, would be to go to the house and to look where there once was crying.
The basement.
No.
But what about the... Oh, okay. Yes, let's...
And then, so...
And then go
Those-
to Barovia.
yes, those were the two that I can remember. So one of them was supposed to be Barovia, or what did your fortunes or our grand fortunes?
No,
tell
that's
us?
where Madam Mava.
Ava.
Ava.
Madam Ava.
Madam Ava. Mava or Ava?
It's Ava.
And Madam Ava told us to do. She said to go to Barovia, the village of Barovia.
Ah, yes. So
And meet with Lord Marcus. If he would explain more.
the village of Barovia is a half a day away.
That is true.
Do we know which cardinal direction?
It is east. It is that way.
Ah,
east.
now wasn't one of our fortunes saying something about the east?
No, one of our fortunes says something with the west.
Ah, the west. Well,
Mine says the west.
that's
Look to the west, and a pool blessed by the white sun.
that's a conundrum. So,
Yes.
so it was our grand fortune for all of us to see about going where there once was crying. Right.
Yes.
Then it was my fortune, which is right here with the Fistani. What was your fortune?
My fortune Look for a man of music with 2 heads, living in a place of hunger and sorrow. A powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope.
Wow.
The marionette.
And mine was power and strength, the sword of light,
Right.
the healer.
Yours would be to the west, whereas his, we just need to look for an abomination, apparently. Or it's
A man of music with 2 heads.
allegorical. And for yours?
Mine would find the enemy. The creature of darkness will lead us to him. The executioner was the card. And we should seek out the brother of the devil, or of the devil's bride. The lesser he's known as, but he has a powerful soul.
Well, when it comes to going to the enemy, I would tend to lean on your expertise. But from a common man's viewpoint, I would think that we should have a weapon before we go and seek the enemy.
Yes, there's logic. Enemy last.
So
let's speak I say you speak to this man.
First of all.
And then we see about the house. And then we see about Barovia, because it's half a day, and who knows how long we'll be traveling to the west.
Yes.
And all the time we keep an eye out for a 2-headed singing or person, or a 2-headed person with a lute. Or something like that.
Right.
Would be
Something to do with music and 2 heads.
Gotcha. He lives in a place of great hunger and sorrow. That should... I think we could ask... I think that's probably a place.
I don't know.
I would think that would be well known.
I don't know.
You
But
can always ask
Where is the
around
hungriest and
once you get to
sorrowest place of this land?
maybe Koliat would know.
Yes. I think you'll know about the child for sure.
So, to Koliat?
Sure.
Yes.
You step up off the log, and you begin to eat bread, and you're warm, of course, and you shed most of the winter clothing you brought with you, the clothing of the travelers. Just strange turn of events in these past 2 weeks. And you find Koliat, a barrel-chested young man, with skin that is a shade perhaps paler than the others, with a pleasant smile and warm, inviting eyes, dark as they are, with a muss of dark curly hair. Did you speak with Madame Eva? Did she reveal to you your fortunes?
Yeah. Yes, she did. It's and one of those is directed towards you.
He presses the wineskin back into your hands, Nigel. Drink. Let us talk. Let us walk.
Thank you.
Let us enjoy this fine weather, he says.
Take a long pull at it and hand it off to him.
He will lead you away from the others amid the village as he kind of looks over his shoulder, watching. You can't see anyone watching as you leave, but he takes you to the very edge of the lake. The Sur Pools, it's called. Tser, that is. He looks toward it. Look toward the stillness of the lake. It is almost as if the water meets the stars above, he says. He turns toward the sky.
So you say tonight is a fine weathered night. What is the weather normally like?
Usually the gloaming is too thick to see through.
So it's even more humid and more oppressive.
Warm, he simply says, perhaps not understanding your words.
Warm.
The bile builds in heat such as this, but when the gloaming retreats, sanguinity, he says.
Ah, yes.
That's something I know a little bit about myself. But it's good to know that medicine is here as well. Tell me something. Are you all missing a child?
He kind of perks up. Not amid our camp. But there's another camp to the north. A camp just outside the village of Valaki.
Are they Vistani as well?
Oh, yes. I had heard that Luvash, a leader among the Vistani outside of Valaki, his daughter had been missing. Stories like this travel very quickly among the Vistani, he says. We are so often moving all about.
So they're itinerant as you are. Will it be hard to find them?
Oh, goodness, no. Luvash and the Vistani to the north are not itinerant. They make their encampment outside of... Well, show me that map, he says. Near Lake Zarevich.
Lake Zarevich. Oh, there's so many places here. Lake Zarevich.
Here, yes. He points toward the map. Toward Lake Zarevich, there is a village called Valaki. Just outside of that is Luvash and the other Vistani.
Thank you for...
May I inquire a question here on the map? What is this giant thing here in the middle? Is that a gate? Is that a wall of some sort blocking the road that direction?
He smiles. Indeed. The Devil Strahd had erected gates 10 times as tall as men would stand.
So 60
all
feet.
Throughout the realm.
What are those gates? So they block the roads, you can't pass the roads?
To Castle Ravenloft? No.
Well, I would not want to go that way anyway. But you can go this way around the roads. You can go past that into this area. You have to go over these giant mountain ranges that are over here. How do we get from here to there?
With your feet, he says.
How logical of you to say that.
There are roads that meander all throughout Barovia, he says. You see this black line here?
I see it.
These are the paths the Vistani of Barovia have traveled. We stay along the roads.
Yeah. Okay, so but you can get through. You can pass that gate. Not towards the castle, but meandering around the castle.
Indeed.
This is what I'm looking for. Okay. Lucky.
He kind of leans in, though. But you must understand something about the Vistani, he says. He turns away, looking back toward the encampment that is kind of a low din at this distance from where you're at. Not all Vistani are as friendly as we.
You don't say.
The Devil Strahd still has agents all throughout Barovia, looking for victims and potential allies.
So if one, so are you saying that Luvash might not be nearly as friendly as you?
I do not trust a man who. I do not trust a person who does not wander the roads. For he is. There is only one reason a man would stay where he is at.
What is that
Could you
reason?
enlighten me?
The promises of the devil.
Riches?
Yes,
Prosperity?
perhaps.
Or they're dead and can no longer move.
Well,
So the
that's
devil
rather
promises
morose.
death.
Well, that's reason. If you can't walk, or you can't run, you walk. If
Some
you can't walk, you find someone to carry you. If you can't even do that, well, then they bury you.
Some
That
in
is
this
rumor.
land do not worship the gods. They worship the devil himself. Luvash, I believe, is one of these men.
So, if we were to try and help him find his missing daughter, have any recommendations for how to approach I mean, simply walk to the gate and announce ourselves and say, hey, we're looking for your missing daughter. We want a reward. Probably would be a bad idea.
Would they
Can't give
believe
any advice in that regard.
So you do not know him very well.
No.
Would they believe?
Not all Vistani know one another, he says. But we're but stories among the Vistani travel, particularly for our people, as we travel the roads often. We do not stay in one place for long.
It's like a, hey, you work at Sprint. Yeah, so does 90,000 other people.
That's right.
Would they believe the
I don't
prophecy of your madam? We told them that we were sent there based on her reading of our fortunes.
The Vistani, he says, are a people who believe deeply in fortune. They also recognize that Barovia and its master, the devil Strahd, is the only god of this land. No, also the Vistani believe in, well, not only believe, but they know that some women are blessed with prescience. They will likely heed Madame Ava's words, but I would not rely on that solely.
Fair enough.
All right.
Perhaps we should see about maybe building a little cloud.
Of all the great Vistani fortune tellers, he goes on and says, none compares to Madame Ava. If knowledge of your future is what you seek, Madame Ava has truly told you your fate. All Vistani and Barovia know that Madame Ava is the greatest of all fortune tellers.
What a gift or an achievement for one so young.
You call it a gift, but that is not always so. It is also a curse.
I've known my dooming since before I knew anything. We are all taken young, brought before a seer of sort, and told how we will die and perish.
My friend.
It is the same here.
No, he says. There's a fate much worse than death in Barovia. You must trust me on this.
And here I thought death was one of the only two ways out.
Death is if you are lucky.
Death? It comes for everyone.
Not in the way that you believe, not in Barovia.
Where the soul goes after, well, that can depend on the person or their faith.
Trust me, my
But
friend.
death comes for everyone.
The things that you believe are true are not true in Barovia. You will come to see this with your own eyes. You will begin to understand why the Vistani wander the roads. And you will begin to understand why other Vistani simply put themselves down. And it is not because they have found safety.
Oh, you could just tell us.
Tell you what?
Why?
You must see it with your own eyes.
So why don't we cut the bullshit then? Why don't we just travel with you? If we're gonna end up here eventually, why can't we stay with you?
You are not of Vistani blood.
Madame Ava.
I thought everyone here was an outsider.
We gave you the gift to lay with us for one evening. This is a gift that is given to outsiders once, and only once when they're in Barovia.
One night of safety. That's all Madame Ava offered.
As I said before, we'll pay our keep. We don't intend to be layabouts.
You are an outsider. You do not understand the ways of Barovia.
I don't intend to spend the rest of my life here.
I didn't say I would.
I think what he's saying is we need to be Barovians before we can travel. All are outsiders, but all become Barovians. That is my bit of wisdom for the night. What do you think?
It is an interesting insight. I do not think of it that way.
Ah, well,
He nods.
I tried. I was trying to pick upon it.
I do not mean to. make you feel foolish.
Oh.
But know this, as outsiders, the things that you expect to be as they were elsewhere are not the way here. There is but one god in Barovia, and he is the Devil Strahd.
Very well. Seeing as how this god has been kicked out, though, then you're saying that there are no gods in Barovia. I've heard everything correctly?
You've not heard stories of gods being taken from the heavens?
I've heard stories of man ascending to the heavens.
He chortles. Then perhaps you know the story of Strahd, then. Perhaps you would enlighten me. For he was a man who went to the heavens and was cast into hell.
No, the man I know of was torn apart by 4 horses.
It's a terrible fate.
Yes, that is a very terrible fate.
It is, but it brought all of Gothmoran together.
It is, yes, that is true. That is.
It's not my god.
As I said, when in Cahabro.
You believe a god is a man. Devils are men. Gods are not. And when a devil becomes a god, he is empowered as such by belief, by faith. There are people in Barovia who believe very strongly in the Devil Strahd that he will return. That is his power.
Yes, yeah. Yes, faith is it is a force.
You can argue into the wind and demand the mountain tumble down because you will it so. But that is the fallacy of mankind. The stupidity of men.
You accuse me of something I did not do. Very well, I've heard enough.
Know that the Devil Strahd has power, and he has believers, and the Vistani are not all as they seem. I tell you this, because there's something about you. I just feel I can trust you. Yes?
Vistani. I don't understand. You're saying that we shouldn't trust those people? We should trust.
My mother was a Vistani, but not my father. My father was like you.
This is the uniqueness. I wondered why your hair was different and your skin was slightly lack of melanin. Dark. You're lighter than your compadres, your friends, your...
He nods.
Maybe it makes sense then.
Some Vistani are not treated the same.
Madame Maeva seems to take a liking to you, so... Or is it servitude?
I do not serve Madame Eva. Madame Eva serves everyone. It's she who serves us. She's a fortune teller. It is her lot in life. I am just a simple cattle drover. I am given the gift to join the fires in the camp every once so often. It is a gift that you've been welcomed into the camp for one night. I tell you this as somebody who has lived among them for 26 years.
Thank you again. We have much to do tomorrow, and we're talking in circles, I believe.
Here we are at this point, yes.
I say we rejoin the fire, let's eat our fill and drink with this young man and maybe talk about our land. Give you...
I would enjoy that, I think.
Some talk about the teeth, where I'm from.
Back to the camp you go. The night goes on, and the morning comes. The fires have been snuffed out, a blue curl of smoke rising from it. The encampment is gone. The wagons, the horses, the people. Only the remnants in their encampment. The many boot prints in the mud. The long kind of... The manure piles from the horses. The detritus from the rabbit they had cooked the night before still lying in the mud. The morning is very chilly. And this low hanging mist seems to linger along the edge of the lake, making you can't even see the surface of it. Just a few yards out, it's just thick mist all around you. To the sky, to the reaches of which are to the furthest reaches of which you can see, there's just mist perpetually hanging around. and the sun is somehow blotted out by it. This kind of sky almost kind of illuminated like the color of urine, like just all around you, kind of almost softly glowing. You can't even see the sun. The light seems to kind of reflect off of the hanging, wet, humid mist.
This place is cursed.
It does.
There's a galleon. It is.
Do we recover any peril?
You recover. Actually, we need to make a resolve test to see how well you slept.
Okay.
If you succeed, you recover to unhindered. If you fail, you move to imperiled. If you critically fail, you don't recover at all.
What's the difficulty?
The difficulty is going to be easy.
Okay.
Oh, easy.
Easy resolve.
Easy.
Resolve will be
58.
Yep.
I did not succeed.
critical success.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. What about yourself?
I succeed.
Oh, nice. He critically succeeded, so he'll pass it on to you. So you'll
Okay.
recover 2 unhindered. So you all awaken the next day, and perhaps it was the wine and the company Kolyat that gave you mostly the wine, but you awaken kind of feeling fair enough. But you realize everyone is gone. The camp is completely gone. Like it was like they were never here, save for the remnants of the encampment. You even hear them leave in the morning.
I never know how they do it.
Who?
How simple folk of such means can make their food taste so well, and drink into the wee hours of the morning and still be up and off in the morning. By where I came from, it would take the finest spices to tide you over, and then you would laze about until it was brunch.
Brunch.
Yes, second breakfast and then 11s too, right?
Sure, if you...
I was raised on the teeth. I don't understand what you're talking about.
So you partake in frog folk traditions then?
I don't. Yes, the frog folk.
Yes.
They have a hearty appetite.
Sometimes it makes you wonder if all that lavishness is really not worth it.
I wouldn't know.
I would, that's what I'm saying.
Well, was it worth it?
In some manners.
I think it was the best night's sleep we've had in weeks.
It was actually.
On that token, it was worth it.
So then we go back to this house before we go to the house before we go east.
Yes.
Yes. Because I think we should get better bearings on our culture here before we go up north and make someone who isn't as forgiving as our friend mad.
Okay.
All right.
What was? Let's head that way. Are we making a plan before we go in? Or?
Well, I say that we should go back up to where the cradle was and check that first. And then, if not, we shall see if it warrants searching other places. I know you're excited to search in the basement, and we may well.
I don't need your permission to search where I
Let's
wish.
look to a place where
I will do as I please.
sickness and madness are
And take what I want for that matter.
ever present.
But if you want to not be alone, then you will go along with what we are saying. And I do believe we had discussed that as far as when decisions should be made, it would be done by me.
Yes.
You do have your own will. But why go into the basement alone when you could go with us?
I see your point.
But if we're going off of what the fortune says, it's where crying once was and is no longer, something along those lines.
Where sickness and madness are present.
What was your card?
That's the middle. That's the main card. That's our main.
Which was the philanthropist?
Yes, the philanthropist.
I will say one thing. Our fortunes may have been led. I don't know about you, but it's not the end of everything.
Well,
I have a will. I have a strength of will that will surpass any fortune that can be made.
I agree with you, but as my learned friend here said, I can't believe we've traveled long enough that I can call you a friend. But as our learned person of ill repute said,
You're the executioner, right?
Shouldn't we just
I have
test
the
this?
executioner.
Yes.
We're here. Test
yes,
it. Test
yes.
the waters.
I agree. Yes.
And then let's go.
But like I said, it shouldn't stop anything that we feel the need to do.
The
we don't even know where we're at.
The only reason I showed hesitation is a suit of armor walking about on its own.
Indeed.
Well, true. But maybe we walk back through, and we're home.
Could be.
Perhaps.
Maybe this is just maybe
it's all the dream.
Maybe this is a dream. I don't know.
Is this the real life? Is this a fantasy?
We shall
Caught
see.
in a landslide? Escape from reality?
Why do you always go into these weird things?
Poetic interludes.
He just does this. His head's in the clouds all the time.
I'm not too familiar with the arts, for my dooming said you shall never see the end, so I always left it intermission.
Well said.
Well, up to you. Huh? Good?
We can go.
Let's go see this. Let's go back into the House of Crazy.
Who would like to go first?
You may want to grab a stick. It might be able to a bit easier to beat the armor apart if we should come across it again.
Oh, yes. All weapons might be useless, won't they? Yes. Let me I'll find a club of sorts as we walk. That shouldn't be too tough. There's enough detritus around.
Pick up a piece of driftwood that will serve as as an improvised hand weapon.
There we go. This will
pummeling and crushing.
Pummeling and crushing.
So it uses brawn bonus for damage instead. It has a encumbrance value of 1.
Okay. Club. And pummeling and what?
Crushing.
Crushing. That's what I thought you said.
Crushing.
Crushing. Okay. Well, there's only tomorrow. I'll start walking up the stairs. Okay. And I'll...
Up the stairs?
I thought you said there isn't to the house?
You're not even in the house.
Oh.
You're still in the remnants of the encampment. No, you haven't even left yet.
Well then, let's head.
Okay. You head around the Sur Lake, as they call it, and that lake quickly turns into a swampy kind of bog as you're walking amid kind of reeds and a rough-looking kind of not gravel road, but rough-looking muddy rut of a road betwixt these mangrove trees. And despite the fact that it's still fairly early in the morning, the heat has kind of settled over this land, and the sky doesn't ever seem to really open up. It's like a half-open eyelid of light almost in that sense. Like the mist is everywhere. Really, it's so thick in parts that you have to kind of skirt the road. It's blinding. As you're moving along this rut of a road, you come upon this kind of what looks like a old, dilapidated house that stands 4 stories high. And as you come close to it, the entire house seems to almost groan from the wood kind of leaning upon itself, as you suspect this place will eventually be swallowed by the swamp as the water laps up against its backside. And you could see, kind of nestled in nearby trees and amid the cross beams on the 2nd and 3rd floor, where this place has burnt or collapsed at some point, or rather I should say the observatory that had collapsed with the glass. your presence has clearly not gone unnoticed, for ravens kind of follow you for several minutes while keeping a somewhat respectful distance. As you come toward the house, they seem to gather along the eaves of the house and within the remnants of the observatory, cawing and crowing.
Ominous. To say up.
Yes, I do believe so. That is where the...
Should we, anybody have a sort of illumination?
You come to the outside gate that leads into a small portico. The gate shrieks as you open it.
Oh,
It's no more than just a few feet from me to you until you come to the door. The door is shut.
Anybody have any means of illumination?
I do not.
Not I. Well, I roll through my rift bag and pull out a candle. It won't do much. Used for reading, really.
We'll open up the shutters as we go along and light the way with the light of the day.
Oh, all right. I will try the door.
Okay. You reach for the door and you realize that these few crows have almost doubled and tripled in number. More ravens begin to take an active interest in you. Before long, the numbers begin to swell until there is nothing but this black blot of wings and cawing, this cacophony of birds that have settled along the eaves, along the top of the gate that you walked through, amid the mangrove trees, and they're all kind of cawing at different points in time. It's very, very loud. You reach for the door and you open it, and the birds suddenly take flight into the air. They're flying all around. They kind of dart back and forth, and at first, Nigel, you kind of move as you realize it came a little bit too close. And then you, Mortimer, kind of have to duck out of the way. And then suddenly the sky is blotted out by hundreds and hundreds of black wings as they're exploding all around you with their talons out and their beaks, and they're flapping back and forth, and it's hard to see one another. And I need to roll initiative. You are attacked by a very large swarm of crows, which has an initiative of 8 plus 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, Benedict. Every traveler has heard a tale of a rain of toads and fish falling from the sky at the behest of a witch. Or a fisherman has spun a yard or two of massive flocks of razorbills devouring sacks of grain. But this is a black, great menace that is all in the sky and is darting back and forth and is nipping and biting and landing on your shoulders and pecking at your feet and going for your eyes, and soon enough it becomes so great that not even your wild gesticulations are enough to ward them away. They are clearly on the attack. You are being assaulted by literally a murder of crows. Benedict, what are you going to do?
Murder of crows.
Well, his hand's on the door.
Yes.
I'm gonna try and see if I can get that door open and get us all inside.
So you're going to move forward for 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And open the door and step inside for 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, everybody. No sense in staying about.
You come to the door and you open it. And as you open it, you can see these great crossbeams from inside that have literally fallen down into the ground and have been here for ages. Wild grass grows between the planks of wood. There's a little spider web of wood that's shattered from the floors above. This whole place is like thick with lumber. You can wind your way inside, but there's no easy way within. At this point, you've only spent 2 AP.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try and use my last AP to move as far as I can inside.
Okay, you begin to crawl within, and as he does so, the house seems to groan. Like the weight of it is about to almost fall upon itself. As you literally are finding you're literally trying to, you're crawling your way inside a house that's collapsed upon itself many, many years ago. You are safe for now. Mortimer, what are you going to do?
Well, seeing Benedict go in, I will take advantage of my frail-sized body to slip in behind him as well.
Okay. You step inside. Some of the planks of wood snap as you wind your way within. Next is Alfie.
Well, I already have this club in my hand. I'm going to start killing me some crows.
Okay. Take a whack at it. Just make a test. It's trivial.
Okay. Trivial. That is, I have a 90%. I got an 87, so that's good.
Roll damage.
Okay. 10 points of damage.
All right.
I mean,
Whack! Bat!
on your weapon.
You bat a few of them away.
It's punishing. Oh wait, actually, it's 9 points because I can't use combat. I use brawn.
That's right.
So 9. It's pummeling and crushing.
Okay. Bat! Bat! You bat at the great cloud of crows, and a few of them spiral to the ground as you stomp on one near, like, as they're all over, as the swarm has been lightly wounded. It has done little to abate these crows flying all around, as this murder crows is literally everywhere. They're still kind of diving and hunting and pecking and trying to tear you to pieces, almost like a piece of as if you were meat ready to be torn apart by a carrion, as an example. So that's 1 AP.
I don't know if I can. Can I call this out? Can I issue a challenge to birds?
I think not.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean,
Yeah, I think probably.
I didn't think so.
I
mean,
challenge you, birds.
But
Can I reach out and with my free hand and choke one of them?
Sure.
That's what I'm gonna do.
You snatch out with one of your hands, make an athletics test. This test is going to be challenging. Ducking and
Is Alfie gonna have to choke a bird?
I was just thinking that.
Nah, I did not. I was not successful.
you try to snatch a bird out of the air, and you kind of withdraw your hand as you've been see blood up on the tip of your finger.
I will.
You have 1 AP left.
I will bank that so I can
Okay. Fair enough.
dodge, parry,
All right.
thrust.
Nigel,
What is the?
dodge, parry, thrust, spin, turn, bring.
That's what I was
I
trying to
think it's
think
what it
of.
was.
The Debbie
Dodge, parry, turn. I can't remember.
I will also try to fend off some of these birds.
With
there
what?
With my bullock dagger.
So you're going to draw that?
Yes.
Okay, it's 1 AP.
Okay.
You're going to strike out.
Yes.
All right, it's a trivial test.
All right. Trivial.
You lunge out.
That'll be a 90% chance to succeed. And I rolled a 24. Success.
All right, roll damage.
And this is 2 plus 6. 8 damage.
Yeah, nice. You stab and slash wildly toward these crows as they kind of withdraw from you. The swarm is now moderately wounded. There are some more dead crows lying on the ground, but they're still just kind of like whirring and whipping all around you.
Stepping on.
That's right.
I'm going to use... Actually, that's 2 AP. I'm going to take cover behind my mantle to try to keep my face from getting
Your
hacked.
what?
My mantle.
Your mantle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shield.
Yeah, I'm trying to like just keep it so I don't get a bunch of pecks all over my
Can you
face.
take cover behind a mantle? Does it have that quality?
It does not have that quality.
Okay, so you can simply just kind of...
I'm just trying to do this
Yeah, that's
number.
fine. That's fine. That's fine.
You birds!
Back, birds, back! And the birds attack. They are not only swarming around you, but they're ducking and diving inside the house. As you two are within here, you can see the floor above you has completely collapsed. You can see the sky in the mist above you where the roof is collapsed and where there's fallen brick. The balustrade is collapsed. There's no stairs. There's just basically fallen lumber everywhere. This is literally a husk of a house.
And no safety from the birds.
The birds! The birds will attack. Got a 45% chance.
Who are they?
Sorry,
attacking?
55.
Who are they attacking?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Burst template. 36.
Birds.
The birds duck and
Template.
dive and bite and nibble and do what they do. As you all will suffer 4 + 2, 6 damage. And you all must immediately resist with an athletics test.
Can I try to bank? Can I parry?
Absolutely. It is there, so your test is challenging.
Okay. This is a 40. And a 16 is successful.
You bash him away.
Get off me, buds!
What's the difficulty on the athletics test?
It was challenging.
Everything
Challenging.
is challenging. So
We resist with athletics.
yes,
Okay.
challenging.
45.
Success.
28. Success.
Okay. You fail? Okay. You find that Mortimer's kind of crawling his way deeper within, trying to get away from the birds as you... It's basically, it has a powerful quality, but it's clearly not knocking you back. You're just crawling deeper inside. So the fortunate part is nobody here is pushed back. Because damage has already been dealt.
Seriously wounded.
Lightly wounded.
Lightly
Oh,
wounded.
seriously wounded. Oh, my friend, your wounds are infected. If you're seriously wounded. That's
Because
the
carrion birds are gross.
that's the first murder of crows. The second murder of crows.
Oh, there's multiple murders.
Oh yes.
Multiple murders.
Swarming all around you,
I didn't
you
know
back
there
them
was
away, taking cover, getting out of the way. The birds are everywhere, but you manage to kind of like fend your way out of them, away from them. And the third murder of crows. 60. Fortunately, they do nothing to harm you as you continue batting and bashing and beating them away. I actually apologize because I was referencing the old initiative from last session. So we're gonna reset the initiative to the correct person, which is Alfie.
Yeah, I thought we were off a bit.
I was yeah. Oh, wow.
Yep.
I just thought it got rotated
That's right.
Yeah.
because of how
So,
we
Alfie-
you went in.
That's right. So Alfie, go. It's your turn first. What do you want to do? They're literally everywhere. These murderer crows are ducking and diving from trees. They're along the eaves of this old house. The house is kind of getting this low groan sound
Well,
as it was threatening to collapse upon itself.
I don't really want to go in there. Sounds like it's going to fall in on itself.
Too much weight.
So I'm going to go ahead and use Gate Crasher on these things. I'm going to aim.
Okay.
I'm going to kill me some birds.
Does a gate crasher require a two-handed weapon? I
I
don't think it does.
No.
You
Okay.
just have to aim.
You just have to aim.
You could have chuck up on the piece of driftwood you found and take a sweep toward them. Whack!
Okay. Well, I have a 9. Is it still
It's trivial,
trivial?
yes.
Okay. So, all right. I hit.
Okay. And what's your damage?
And this is 8 plus. Oh wait, no, sorry. 12 plus 3, 15.
Take aim.
15. Wow.
Yeah,
This murderer crows has been beaten and bloodied and bashed, and most of the crows are lying in the ground as they are grievously wounded.
nice.
They're all
That's why I
over the
did that.
place.
That was.
There's about 10 or so crows remaining that are
Yeah.
still darting around you.
I'm gonna bank my last to
Fair enough.
stop
Hey,
these
Mortimer?
murders.
You're inside the house. You can hear the clattering of wood beneath your footfalls as you scrambled inside. And as you look around, you realize that this place is probably, if you go too much further in here, you could potentially cause the house to collapse upon you.
Okay. So, I guess I will then start heading back out. Am I able to get out? Or
yes, it's 1 AP to get outside.
Okay, to get outside. Alright, and then...
Help us with these damnable crows.
Alright. As I will then equip my... I guess I will grab onto my scythe and start...
ready it?
Yep. And then I'll start, taking out the wheat. Just nice swaths of crow.
Broad sweeping with the weapon. It's a trivial test.
Alright. Simple melee, 74, so 77. That is a 57, so success.
Okay, roll damage.
Oh, 6.
6 total damage?
Yeah, 6 total damage.
Okay. As he makes his way outside, he takes a wide swoop of the side, and it wards away the remainder of the crows as one swarm has been dispatched, buying you just a little bit of time. All right. Anything else you wish to do?
That's it.
Okay, Nigel.
Okay. I will continue to smash some birds.
Lunge toward him with your knife.
Yes.
Okay. Trivial.
That is a success. And that is 6.
Explosion.
Plus 1 is 7. And plus 6 more is 13.
Nice. Well, you beat and bash your way at the next swarm of crows, and they are moderately wounded as several fall to the ground around you. Thump, thump, right in the wet mud as you're stomping on them as dead crows lie all around you. And there's still a lot of them flying all over. If you've seen the movie Birds, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Swooping and batting. You see tiny slashes across your face, almost like tiny paper cuts that itch and burn. Some go for your eyes. They all seem to go for soft parts. They always go for your face or your hands. Anywhere you're exposed, your neck, your ears, like your soft parts that you don't want to get, right? It kind of, yuck. All right. Anything else you wish to do?
Yes, I'm going to scream and yell, yeah, get out of here! Just like try to wave him away. Like, give myself some breathing room.
Okay. Litany of Hatred.
All right.
Make an Intimidate test. Actually, make a Handle Animal test.
Animal.
What's your current damage condition?
My current damage condition is lightly wounded.
It's a standard test.
Standard Handle Animal will be a 38% chance to succeed with a flip to fail.
You be failed.
And I rolled a 97, but I am going to use a fortune point.
Okay. Explain to us what that is.
When I use a fortune point, I move one step down the peril condition track, first of all. And also, since I am cursed, I roll 2d6. If either of them comes up as 6, it uses 2 fortune points.
I'll take another fortune point.
Let me double check that. Hold on a second. Is that the way curse works?
Yes. If it's 1d6.
Oh, it's 1d6. Okay,
Right.
let me re-roll that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a 5. Okay.
Adam's getting really excited. He's
It's
like,
not
ooh, I'm enjoying
It's good.
Okay, so
This was actually an extra coin in there, so I needed regular gold coin.
I
from his fortune
rolled.
point.
So I did a critical success on my handle animal.
Nice. Okay. So they will suffer their penalties to peril and damage condition track. Okay, cool. Yep. All right.
Did we take the candy?
You
It's
did.
right here.
It's right
Oh,
there.
okay.
Enjoy, buddy.
Thank you. I thought it was a piece of trash.
You
Okay.
all might enjoy that.
He's screaming at the birds and trying to ward them away and swinging his hands, and they kind of form like this kind of like long line, this chain of birds as they're kind of wheeling around you above the head. In fact, some of them are kind of almost like encircling the top of this old dilapidated house like a halo of dark wings. It's kind of pretty fucking frightening.
This place. Galleon, I say.
Benedict, it's your turn.
You damnable birds.
I'll come back outside, seeing as how inside is fruitless.
When I pay? You crawl outside and you see them stomp the last of a number of birds as Nigel screams to the sky and the birds take flight, kind of encircling the house like a dark halo of black wings.
And I will, I'll yell out to the rest of us, come, let's show them that they're not the only ones that are a bird of a feather. Let's set them back to the custodian where they belong. As I try and use inspiring words.
Okay. What's your current damage condition?
Lightly wounded.
Okay. Pause for a moment. Who among you believe the Vistani? Do you really believe in the things that they have told you at this point? Specifically Kolyat?
I believe we're in a magical place. I think this is a devil's trap.
I believe that we need to investigate further.
I don't believe anything.
I'm halfway. I'm still kind of tethering on the reality I know.
Yeah.
But I'm open to the idea that, wait a minute, we just walked into a house during a snowstorm and we walked out and yeah.
So the two of you have some belief in what Kolyat said. The two of you do not?
I doubt, but I'm starting to come around.
I have severe doubts about all of this. I believe we're in Galleon and
okay.
They're...
Okay, cool.
The enemies of my father have taken upon us.
Perfect. Make your test. You're lightly wounded at standard.
Standard. Leadership is going to be 56. And the 24 will succeed.
The only person who's infected by it is you. Because those who have clung on to Kolyat's river, remember, the gods have no power here, and Benedict is calling out to the gods to help you. So the only person who actually gains benefit from inspiring words is you. Because you're still tethered to the world from you came from.
The steward will smash
So
these evil birds.
+1 peril and +1 damage condition track.
Oh, nice.
Anything else?
Yes, I would like to, like, kind of just punch, kick, and
You know you have that mortuary sword, right?
Yeah.
just fend some of these birds out.
Pull out that first weapon and let your arm go on fire.
Love it. Okay. Go ahead and make a test. It's going to be trivial.
Okay. Trivial will be 82. And a 02 will do it.
Okay. He swipes his arm toward the birds. It's as barehanded, so
Okay.
roll damages and pummeling.
Pummeling.
Brownie.
1 plus 5 is 6.
He snatches the bird in the air and throws it to the ground, sweeps his hand up and has to bat one out of the way. They are now seriously wounded.
Do swarms suffer injuries? I can't remember if we...
Yeah.
It's a bunch of birds.
No.
Okay, alright, yeah.
I mean, who's counting crows at this point?
Yeah.
Oh! Not
Oh,
my...
man,
I
you're
just-
just
I'm
full
on fire
of
tonight.
tonight.
All right.
The one-line magic
Wait,
man
wait.
tonight.
You see the
That's since the beginning.
dark halo of crows as they were warded away from him by Nigel. They kind of quickly swirl back like a great tornado of feathers and start just kind of tearing back into all of you once more. They have a 55% chance for the first swarm. 68. I'm gonna re-roll that. Shucks. 49. They hit. Anybody have AP to parry? Okay.
Always
Batting
say that.
away. Okay, your test is going to be challenging to parry.
Okay. So 40%. And a 38 does it. Man,
Okay.
I can parry like you
Those who do
wouldn't
not
believe I
parry will suffer 5 plus 4, 9 damage.
Previously wounded.
Grievously?
can. Grievously
Ugh.
wounded.
Yeah,
You will
wounded
need-
in the fight with the armor.
You will need to put on your character sheet that you are now suffering from filth fever.
I'm seriously wounded.
Your injuries are now infected.
Infection.
Anybody else
Moderately wounded.
moderately wounded? Okay.
Infection.
Does he get a
Roll
chance?
1d6.
It came up earlier. Does he get a chance to resist that at all?
No.
Okay. I was wrong. I'll need to correct that. Alright, so roll 1d6.
Sorry, no, there's no injuries. My apologies. No injuries.
They're carrying birds, man. They've been eating on the dead.
Mhm.
Well, probably
I'm
still
just-
do moderate.
There's no
Okay.
injuries.
Alright.
It's a pummeling weapon. Their beaks and crows are pummeling.
Right.
You don't suffer injuries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So not infected.
No,
You're
you are
infected.
infected.
Okay.
Instead of suffering injuries, you suffer from infection.
Oh, okay. I see what
Yeah,
you mean.
infections or
So as an example,
Filth
when
beaver.
these creatures reduce a foe to seriously wounded, the foe's wounds are infected. When they reduce a foe to grievously wounded, the foe contracts the disease indicated in parentheses. In this case, blood fever.
or carnivorous beavers.
All right. It's now Alfie's turn. You can see that Mortimer is wavering. He's in a really bad spot. He's in a really, really bad spot. He's grievously wounded. He's barely standing up. And you begin to remember he took quite the beating from the armor that was animated within the house from earlier. And the birds are swarming all around him and picking, and you can almost imagine like all these birds kind of pulling at his clothes, ripping into pieces and shreds. You can see where his skin's kind of exposed, and they're just kind of like collecting, like you've seen like a beekeeper covered in bees. He's literally covered in crows. He's on death's door.
Is there any way for me to intersect with that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Throw yourself in harm's way. Get in there and whack at them.
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay. You step forward and take aim for one to interpose yourself between them.
Okay.
To attract the bird's attention yourself and make an attack. Your attack is going to be routine. Sorry, trivial. My apologies.
Okay, 90, 41 does it.
Okay. Roll damage.
And 12 points of damage. Damn it. Didn't get to do the big time.
You leap in there and kind of pull several of them off of Mortimer, and you swipe out toward the others with your cudgel, and they quickly take flight, and then suddenly the rest of the birds kind of follow behind them in this kind of like terrible kind of swirl of black wings and cawing, and they set forth back into the sky, blotting out the sun wherever it is beyond the mist, and this kind of group of crows begin to descend toward this area. They begin to go deeper into the swamp and disappear in the mist until first they are gray shapes and then there is nothing but the mist there and the distant sound of crows cawing. You take stock for a moment to what has happened. Most of you are torn. Your clothes are torn and tattered. In case I'm one of his is a torn and ripped, he does not look good at all. He almost collapses upon you. So hurt is he. So hurt he is, I should say.
I think we need to get Morty to this village.
We need to find some place it's away from the water. As I'll look about. Have we been traipsing through water right now?
No.
Okay, so
If you were in the swamp, you were.
we need to find a place that I can bandage him up. I believe this landing is probably the best place we'll find in a long time.
All right. Well, while you do that, can we talk? What's the house look like?
If I am to do this, I'm going to
Gonna
devote my full
fall
attention to it.
apart if I had gone any further in there. This is. I don't believe this is the place.
I would tread carefully if you go, but you can at least look. You can open the door and look, but
I'll look in if it's just a mangle of.
It's clear that the house has collapsed at some point, and it's overgrown with grass between the floorboard. This place has been collapsed for a long time. In fact, you can see where branches of a nearby tree have kind of broken through the window and twisted its way around the balustrade. And eventually, these vines have literally torn down the stairs, and they're just collapsed everywhere as vines twist and weave their way toward the hearth where the sword once rested, all the way up, and you can see it growing out of the chimney along the top.
So this is very unsafe. Okay. I would not go in there.
While he's managing him up, I'm going to walk around the house and see if there's another point of entry I can possibly make my way in.
You come around to the backside of the house and you realize that you're almost ankle deep and now shin deep in the swamp. The house is literally threatening to slip into the swamp itself. As a matter of fact, when you take a couple steps back and look at it, you see it's kind of tilted slightly, like it's literally threatening to slip into the water at some point. There's no other means of ingress unless you were to clamber through the windows. But even then, this building, literally, I can't emphasize this enough. This building is incredibly dangerous. If you were to walk inside and push your way through, it will threaten to collapse upon you, and it will be your death. You can certainly do that. You can take your chances.
No.
I hope it's abundantly clear this house is incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
But there's no other means of ingress save through the windows.
I don't know. The Nine Father might want you to go in there.
What you're doing?
It's
in for a penny, in for a pound. I don't know.
No. Don't tread on ice, thick or thin.
Well, there you go.
So you feel. Who are you have infected wounds?
What's that? I have infected?
No, you don't.
I do.
Those two.
I have filth fever as on top of the infected wounds.
We're going to talk about in just a moment filth fever after the game, but for now, you feel that your injuries are itching.
Mm-hmm.
Those who are at least seriously wounded, your wounds are itching pretty badly.
I'm going to take a look over him.
You could quickly assess it.
It's okay. It was only attempted murder.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming.
Hopefully, this town will have a more trained physician.
As I look him over,
his terrible jokes.
I'll see that they're infected.
Oh, clearly, without a doubt. I mean, the smell of the smell of something dead still lingers, and it's not the smell of the dead crows. You just killed them. The smell of whatever they were eating earlier this morning, like it's still perhaps in their matted in their feathers. These carrion things smell like they've been eating something dead from the swamp. It smells a bit like cabbage farts and something rotten and dead.
St. Patty's Day is what it smells like.
Oh, it's like the back.
But without a doubt, these wounds have been infected, and the only way that you could attempt to bandage them, you must first bloodlet.
I'm gonna refuse treatment for right now,
Yeah.
and wait until we get to the town. So I will thank you for looking over, but this will probably take more practiced hands.
That, and you don't have surgical tools or a bottle of leeches.
Well, if you wanted my diagnosis, I would say that your wounds are infected, and a bandage will do them no good. But we could always just jump to that, as he is obviously, he's obviously insulted that you would say that before he even looked at you.
How am I looking? Is this gonna heal up tomorrow?
No.
No.
It is the same, and a bandage won't do you any good. The blood that is coming out of you needs to continue to come out until there's good blood, and this is not the place for it.
Yeah, this place is not good for the humors. I know that.
Well, we need to go back around Tears Lake and head towards Barovia. And then it looks like there's a... Am I losing... There's a sketch here of... looks like a bunch of hangman's noose.
Let's pay that no mind for now. We can...
So we're heading towards the gallows.
You head toward the village of Barovia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Using my scythe as like a cane at this point.
And at this point, we're trusting her to that, at least. Correct?
Trusting her to what? With the location of Barovia?
Barovia, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Then.
It's the only hope we have.
Is it okay if I hold on to the map?
Sure.
I'm versed in this. So yes. So this way. And my fine man.
As
You look rough.
leave the house behind, move beyond where the Vistani had encamped, you begin heading toward Barovia, following the only road that you know, which is clearly demarcated on this map. Does not make it difficult to find your way. Who is going to lead the way there?
I would.
I'll assist.
Okay. Who actually really determined that yet? We're fine, actually. You strike out, and as you kind of come away from the house and make your way further down the road toward what looks like the gallows. And you can actually write the gallows in on that little spot if you like. You begin to see the land of Barovia open up before you. Beyond the mist in the sky, you can see these tall, striking mountains that are framed by these dark evergreen trees. And you can only begin to guess as you kind of look toward your map that was given to you by Kolyat, as you look toward the north, that beyond that ring of mountains rests the castle Ravenloft. You can almost imagine that the castle itself is like a dark crown that seems to watch over most of Barovia, such as its height. You can't quite see the castle from here, but you can see the mountains it rests within, so it almost is perhaps like when Madame Eva said that the double Strahd sees all on his land, perhaps she meant literally, in this case, from the top of the castle, if in fact it rests within the mountains, which it seems to be, according to the map. You find your way to the gallows much quicker than you had anticipated. It's not even a mile away.
Oh. Wow. You
come to this place that would be best described as a crossroads. Kind of an old wooden gallows kind of creak in a very warm wind that blows down from the high ground to the west. Because when you look to the west, there is also kind of low hills that frame that direction. The well-worn road splits here, and you can see a signpost opposite of the gallows that points off in 3 directions. One simply says Barovia Village to the east. The other says Sir Pool to the northwest. And the other says Ravenloft/Valaki to the southwest. If you were to head northwest, the road actually slants down and disappears into a copse of trees. Whereas the southwest clings to an upward slope. But across from the gallows, a very low kind of stony wall, crumbled in places, partially encloses a small plot of graves surrounded in fog. Whoever served as headsman here was at least kind enough to bury the dead. And you could see beyond that low wall a number of gray headstones. Some kind of slanted, some upright, some kind of lying on the ground, like a small cemetery of sort. You see no people here at all. The sound of the swamp is distant from here, but still the heat lingers everywhere, and the trees there's thick vines and undergrowth all over. It's not a place that grows violently with wildlife by any means. The air is oppressive, the heat as well. You feel the sweat kind of building on the back of your necks, underneath your clothing. Some of you have to actually kind of shrug off your overcloak or pull up the sleeves of your shirt, so warm as it is. Poor Mortimer is kind of limping his way along with the scythe.
So, we're at a crossroads. Barovia, right?
That's where we have the best chance of finding friendly faces, or at least.
Yes. It looks like it is fairly close if the map is of any...
Unless you wish to go and present ourselves to Ravenloft.
I'll look over at Morty and... No, Morty looks like he needs some immediate help.
Yes.
Yes, this probably should be attended to sooner rather than later.
Barovia, then. Everyone?
Unless anyone's tempted by the graveyard.
Not with 2 people with infections, no. Maybe, perhaps we should come back, then.
You are both villains if I have ever seen.
It's alright.
That's
where he'll end up anyway.
The gods are not in this land. There's only one god, and that is Strahd. I don't think he would care too much.
You never know.
I'm being facetious.
Maybe even the devil cares about robbing the dead.
I'm sure he does. Otherwise, why have graves?
Death can take many forms. In this land, they call it Strahd.
So wise in your fever.
Well, let's try to move then. I still can't tell what time it is. There's a damnable fog. I can't tell anything.
Daytime. For now.
It's
We
half
must
past
hurry.
11 Z's.
11 Z. It's time to eat.
Your stomach grumbles a bit, perhaps because you had spent quite a bit of energy fighting and making your way through the swamp, but only an hour and a half has passed since you left the encampment.
Oh, so it's actually relatively still morning.
It is. As you begin to leave the area, your ears kind of perk up, Mortimer. You hear this creaking noise behind you coming from the gallows. You saw no bodies hanging there before, but as you turn around, we'll stop here. 100 reward points, everybody.
Yay!
First advance. We didn't have any corruption tonight, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
So,
gonna take the heal skill, so that way me and Adam can help each other out.
the number roll is equal to or less than your corruption. You increase chaos strength by 1 step. The number is 10.
Gets an order rank.
Alright.
I'm going to take lightning reactions. So I don't have to bank anymore.
No, lightning reactions is more the. I love it. We'll miss some lightning reactions.
I promised combat.
Yeah,
You will have it.
Ugh.
in spades. As I fight off my shovel. Or pickaxe.
Free
I have a
dodge,
spade. And shovel.
parry.
It does indeed.
So, quick question. With lightning reactions, is it free dodge? Can I dodge and parry multiple times with lightning reaction?
Lightning reaction is for parry only,
Oh, so, yeah, true, sorry.
and it's only. I believe. Let's read what it says in the book first.
So
off.
you can, if you say I bank all 3 AP, I can parry, parry, and parry.
Right.
So you could, if you banked 1, parry, and then still use the one from lightning reactions. That's right.
Ah, okay.
It's like a free parry,
It's
free parry.
essentially
That's exactly what I
one
thought.
free parry.
That's badass.
right? And that
Whatever.
that also means you could use it even if you don't have any AP, meaning
Right.
combat just started.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you can
Keep your card.
aim, gate crash,
It'll be important.
kill, choke, and then still parry. I like
Right.
it.
No, yeah, no, it's fantastic. It's one of the best.
So everyone has recorded their corruption, got their order rank taken care of.
Yes, sir.
Not
Oh
yet.
wait, did you roll corruption?
I
Right,
did.
it's 10.
I purchased the skullduggery.
Skullduggery? What?
Purchase brawn bonus, because I used to have it.
That's a good one because we'll need a we're gonna need a guide or whatever.
What did you purchase, Alfie?
Skullduggery.
A lightning reaction.
Yeah. What about yourself,
Skullduggery
Heal.
doesn't good,
Heal.
good for a guy.
That's good.
Oh no, skullduggery. You want to be
Remember,
stealing shit.
actually, you're
stealth.
finding your
Town.
spells right
I
now.
was thinking stealth.
You have all your. I'm assuming you've written down all your reagents.
Yeah, all my reagents are usable. I don't
That's
have
what I
any
thought.
expendable.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll wrap up here from tonight. Tune in next week and the week thereafter for episodes 5 and 6 of Curse of Strahd, Tatyana's Revenge, a D&D adventure using the Zweihänder D100 system. We will see you all next time. Have a good night.
Good night.
See ya.
Night. D. It's night.
D.
Dun, dun.
Def